Welcome to Challenge Forex. My name is Steve, and today I'm going to test a simple strategy to see if this is good enough to use for live trading on your own live account, or if it's good enough to use on a prop firm challenge. The strategy I'm testing today is the very simple strategy of 3 moving averages, EMA 9, 20 and 50, and the rule being that if the price is above the 50 EMA and there's a crossover of the 9 and the 20 EMA in the up direction, we place a buy order. And if the price is below the 50 EMA and there's a cross down, a cross below the EMA 9 and 20, then we place a sell order. Okay, let's start a new simulation, and the pair we're going to use for this one is Euro Yen. The reason for that is that this is a good trending pair, Euro Japanese Yen, so this will be good to use for EMA crosses. Anything that's in a sideways market, not very good for moving averages. So let's try this one out and see if we can find some good settings to actually use. I'm going to do 1% risk, and there's 2 ways to set this up. We can use a varying stop loss, or we can set the stop loss above and below the swing high or swing low. So for this experiment, let's start off by using a variable stop loss and take profit. Now, first thing to do is load the template. I've got this one saved as 3 EMAs, and I won't go through details how to set this up, but we have EMA 9, we have EMA 20, and the third one is EMA 50. This is for our trend direction. And setting up the software to run automatically. When I hit play, this one will actually run for an entire week, so this is starting on a weekend now. So let's look for the first trade setup. So you can see here that we have some good trends going, but what we are looking for is a crossover. Here it needs to be below the 50 EMA before we can take a short. So let's keep looking till we find one. To do that, we'll actually need a pullback to the 20 EMA, and then look for a trend down again. Okay, we can see here that we're getting close now to okay, this one is really tough to call. It looks like it has actually touched, but I'm not sure if it has actually crossed above. I don't think it has actually closed above the 20 EMA and then below again. So this isn't really a valid setup. Although it would have been a good trade and would have worked out. Okay, here's our first setup. We can see here that the orange line has just crossed over the yellow line. That is around about 100 pip stop loss. I'm going to add 2 pips onto the take profit, and we're doing 1R, so 1-to-1 ratio, but I'm going to add 2 pips on there to cover the cost of commission and spread. The good thing about the software is we can just hit play and wait till it hits the stop loss or take profit before it pauses. There you go, we've had our first win. So we should be up around 1% now, so it is 0.99%. So yeah, that's close. Okay, keep looking now for our next setup. Now we've just had a crossover here, and it's the orange and the yellow lines EMAs are have just crossed over past the blue one. So this is set up now, and we're looking at around about the same 100 pips for the stop loss. Okay, off to a good start. We've had 2 wins. Of course, you can't expect this to keep going in the same way. We're going to have some losers coming along soon. I'm sure of it. The thing about this strategy is we're not going to have a trade every day, and we can see here that there's places that some strategies have a pullback to the EMA and then a close above and then entry. So in these cases, we would actually be long already in this. But this particular strategy, we're looking at only across from below the 20 and then closing above the 20. Okay, it looks like on this candle we have a close for the 9 above the 20. 100 pip stop loss takes us below the open price but not below the swing low. That's about 140 pips, but I will leave it for this one at 100. I think that's far enough away, and that one worked out well already. So we've actually had 3 wins, I think, at this stage. We can actually bring up the closed trades here. We can see here we've got 3 closed trades for a win, and on the graph it looks great because it's going straight up. We will have a losing trade coming along shortly, I'm sure of it. Okay, we have an entry here for a long trade, and we'll keep the stop loss at 100 pips again. Another win, so far so good. Now we've got a setup here that I don't think it is valid. It looks like it hasn't closed below the 20 EMA, although the 9 EMA hasn't gone below the 20 EMA. It has only touched it. So let's just leave that one at the moment and just say that's not a setup. It looks like it would have actually worked out all right anyway. Okay, now it looks like we're looking for shorts. Okay, and now we're looking for long again. Okay, now we're looking for short again, and the lines have just crossed over. It's around about 150 stop loss on that one. Okay, that was our first loss. That's okay. We were expecting one to come along sooner or later. Okay, we've just had a close above here. So this is a long entry. Stop loss in this one's around about 130 pips. So we've been holding this trade now for over a week, possibly even getting up towards 2 weeks at this point, and it still hasn't closed due to the sideways market. There it is, we've actually closed and it was a win, so that's great. We're currently up 3.97% at the moment. Okay, here we have another long entry. Now we'll go below the swing low on this one, so we have a stop loss of around 60 pips for this particular trade. Okay, that was very close to getting stopped out here, so lucky we went below the previous swing low on this one, otherwise we would have been stopped out. Okay, there's another entry here, just trying to find which candle actually crossed over. It looks like it was this one. Okay, that's 80 pip stop loss for this trade. Thing about this pair is when it's trending, it is really trending well, but as you saw, we do have sideways movement sometimes, so you know, not the greatest. Then we did have a lose here, losing trade. We have just had a cross up. This is a bit of a worry because it's sideways movement. However, this did actually meet our criteria. It is above the blue EMA and the orange one has just crossed over the yellow EMA. So this is valid, and that's a 60 pip stop loss. Okay, that one didn't work out so great. So this one here, the 9 EMA closed above the 20 EMA, but it was below the 50. So this is not a valid setup. So we need another pullback first to the cross above. Okay, this looks like a sell signal here. And that's around 60 pips again, so we'll keep the same. This looks like a buy, although it's a sideways market. We really should be ignoring that one because of the sideways market. So this is the problem with setting up a bot to trade automatically using these rules. It's really difficult to specify not to trade in sideways markets unless we have some other sort of a filter, like maybe an RSI or something like that in there as well. Okay, I think we just missed a setup here, and this is the level. So that's a 70 pip stop loss on this one. Okay, let's have a look. How many trades have we had so far? So we've had 11 trades, and we started this in September 2024. It is now 2 months later, and we are still at around about a break-even mark. We did have a bit of luck with a few consecutive wins, but then again we've had a few consecutive losses as well. So I think we've had maybe 4 consecutive losses here. So at the moment, I'm thinking this strategy is not great, and we will need to maybe put in some sort of a filter, such as an RSI or something like that anyway, to filter out some losing trades, or to filter out some of the sideways movement in the market. When this one's trending, it is actually trending well, but as you can see, this is a lot of up and down. So after 2 months, we haven't really made a profit. We're only up 0.87%. So I'm going to stop this one here, and I'm going to say this needs a bit more work on the strategy to just determine if it's actually worthwhile or not. So let's close the simulator. Okay, that's enough of that test for now. I will think about this one a little bit more and see if we can find a way to improve this strategy. It's no point setting this up to trade automatically on with an expert advisor at this stage, unless we can actually find a filter that will actually work. So I'll work on that one as well and see if we can come up with a slightly varied version of this trading method. So 3 EMAs plus some other type of filter we're looking for. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you want to see more of these strategies and testing to see if we can actually find working strategies, something that might be good for prop firms, hit the like and subscribe, and watch out for my next video. Thank you.